You ever feel like life's just cruising by as somehow your fire just ain't burning the way it used to? Like the spark you had when you were younger, dreaming big, thinking wild, chasing everything that lit your soul somehow. It started to fade. That hunger you once had, that drive that made you feel unstoppable. Now it feels like it's whispering instead of roaring. Let me tell you something, hunger doesn't disappear. It just gets buried under comfort, routine, and distractions. And you still got it in you. You just forgot how loud your roar used to be. See, success don't come to the most talented. It comes to the ones who stay hungry. The ones who keep waking up with that itch in their spirit, that whisper in their mind saying, I'm not done yet. You don't need to be the smartest in the room. You need to be the hungry. That's what turns average into extraordinary. That's what builds empires from scratch. And that's what separates those who dream from those who do. Every time I felt like I was reaching a peak in my life or my career, I had to remind myself, if I get comfortable here, I'll die here. That's not just mindset, that's survival. Success is not a place to rest. It's a place to recharge and go harder. Your mind needs to stay sharper than your comfort zone. You can't let your hunger fade just because you've eaten once. You gotta stay starving for growth, for evolution, for greatness. That's what keeps the fire alive. That's what keeps you moving. People ask me all the time, Will, how do you stay motivated? Let me be real with you, I don't always feel motivated. I just stay committed. Motivation is a wave. Commitment is the ocean. When your purpose is strong, you don't need perfect days. You just need powerful reasons. Hunger feeds off purpose. And when you know why you started, you'll never lose your way. You know what steals most people's dreams? Not failure. It's comfort. It's routine. It's waking up each day without a reason that excites you. I've seen it. People start playing it safe because they tasted a little success and suddenly they stop taking risks. You stop growing, but you can't live full if you're operating on half dreams. You can't leave a legacy if you're scared to leave your comfort zone. This is why goal settings matter, not just to measure progress, but to stretch your soul. Your goals should make you nervous. They should make your heart beat faster. That's how you know you're not playing small. That's how you know you're chasing something real. And listen, I've learned this, when your dreams are bigger than your fears, nothing can stop you. You might face setbacks, you might face rejection, but that's not failure. That's friction, and friction creates fire. Setbacks are not signs to stop. They're signs to shift. Every delay is preparing your discipline. Every no is building your resilience. You don't grow in ease, you grow in effort. And it's okay to feel tired, but it's not okay to get lazy with your hunger. You owe it to yourself to stay lit up, to stay inspired, to stay motivated, even when everything around you says, relax, you've done enough. And I'll tell you this, throughout this video, I'm gonna walk with you through something deeper, something most people never get to understand about staying hungry. It's a kind of mindset most folks miss because they're looking for inspiration in loud places. But the real power is in the quiet shift inside your own psychology. So stay with me, we're only getting started. You know, when I look back at the moments that shaped me, it was never the red carpets, the awards, or the applause. It was those quiet, heavy moments when nobody was watching. When I had to look myself in the mirror and ask, are you still hungry or are you just surviving? See, there's a big difference between living and existing. And most people, they're just existing, waking up, going through the motions, chasing a paycheck instead of chasing purpose. That's not life. That's a slow death. Staying hungry means you refuse to settle. You refuse to let life hand you the bare minimum while you've got potential screaming inside you. And I know sometimes it feels like the world is designed to distract you. You start a new goal, and suddenly negative influence is creeping. People doubting you, voices saying you're not good enough. That fraudulence feeling starts to whisper like maybe you're faking it. Maybe you're not really cut out for this. But let me tell you something, those voices lie. You are not a fraud. You are not an accident. You're not a mistake. You are a force, a storm wrapped in purpose. And that voice in your head that tries to pull you down is scared of what you could become. That voice wants you to shrink because it knows if you ever fully commit, if you ever fully tap into your power, there's nothing that could hold you back. That's psychology facts right there. Our minds play tricks, not because we're weak, but because we're wired to protect comfort. But hunger, real hunger, breaks through that programming. Sometimes success isn't about doing more. It's about cutting what drains you. Negative influences, toxic environments, people who laugh at dreams because they forgot how to dream themselves. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need validation to rise. You need clarity. You need vision. You need hunger. That kind of motivation doesn't come from watching one motivational video. It comes from daily choices, moment by moment. Ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind? Because if you keep consuming fear, comparison, and excuses, don't expect your spirit to stay hungry for greatness. Entrepreneurship, personal growth, all of that, it starts in your thinking. It's not just about grinding hard. It's about thinking different. That's the real motivational speech most people need, not hype, but a mental reset, a new blueprint. And let's get real here. Some people think hunger looks like chaos, like constantly chasing, constantly pushing. But true hunger is focused. It's patient. It's disciplined. That's what most don't understand. You don't chase everything, you chase what matters. You build your mindset around what fuels your spirit, not what impresses the crowd. And the people who win long term, they know the difference. They're not trying to go viral, they're trying to go eternal. I used to think success was about arriving somewhere. Now I know it's about becoming someone. Someone stronger, wiser, more self-aware. Someone who can walk into storms and still keep their peace. That's why you gotta protect your mental space. Don't just set goals, design your environment. Make sure everything around you feeds your hunger. Cut the noise. Get around people who remind you who you are, not who you were. Because listen, it's easy to distracted by surface wins. The money, the likes, the followers. But that's not success. Success is alignment. Success is when your actions match your values, when your soul is fed, not just your ego. That's the kind of success that lasts. That's the kind of hunger that builds legacies. And if nobody's told you this lately, you are still capable of more. You're not done yet. You haven't scratched the surface of your greatness. Don't let age fool you. Don't let past setbacks fool you. Don't let doubt rent space in your mind. Whether you're 35 or 75, hunger doesn't age. Spirit doesn't get old. The question is, are you willing to fight for your next level, or are you just hoping life hands it to you? Let me tell you something from my own life. There were times I wanted to stop. Times I questioned whether it was worth it. But I kept going. Not because it was easy, but because I knew comfort would cost me more. Comfort is expensive. It costs you your dreams, your growth, your identity. But hunger feeds you. Hunger lifts you. Hunger wakes you up every day with a reason to rise, even when you're tired. And right here in this message, I want you to grab something deeper, something that'll stay with you long after this motivational speech ends. Because truth is, success is not a straight line. It's not a highlight reel. It's a battlefield, and only the hungry survive it. Only the hungry stay in the fight. And that hunger, it's not found in what you've achieved. It's found in what you still believe you're capable of. Let's keep it real. Staying hungry is not about being desperate. It's about being driven. It's about looking at your life, your journey, and saying, I know I've done good things, but I'm not finished yet. And sometimes people around you won't get it. They'll say, you've already made it, slow down, enjoy life. But they don't understand that hunger you feel inside, it's not about greed, it's about purpose. You're not chasing more for the sake of more. You're chasing depth, meaning, fulfillment. That's what hunger truly is. And here's the truth, your hunger will offend people who have given up on theirs. Your drive will make others uncomfortable because it reminds them of everything they stopped believing in. But you can't dim your light to make others feel safe. You can't shrink your dreams to make others feel secure. That's not inspiration. That's self-betrayal. You were not created to live small. You were not designed to blend in. You were meant to rise, to stretch, to grow beyond limits. It's funny how the world respects the outcome, but doubts the process. Everybody loves the success story, but nobody wants the struggle. Nobody celebrates the early mornings, the lonely nights, the self-doubt you had to fight through. But that's the part that matters most. That's the part that builds you. That's where the mindset is forged. That's where real motivation is born. You want to be successful? You want to be the best version of you? Then embrace the grind. Embrace the setbacks, because they're not punishment, they're preparation. They're building your character. They're teaching you what textbooks can't. That's the unspoken truth behind entrepreneurship, behind any meaningful success. You're not just building a business, a career, a life. You're building you. You are the project. You are the foundation. Now let's talk about goal settings again, because most people treat goals like wish lists. They write them down once a year and forget about them. But goals are not decorations, they're directions. They keep you aligned when life tries to pull you off course. And they should stretch you beyond your comfort. If your goals don't scare you a little, they're not big enough. If your goals don't wake you up with urgency, they're not real enough. Hunger that comes from knowing what you're chasing and why. You need to feel your goals in your gut, not just your mind. That's how you create momentum. That's how you keep moving, even on the hard days. Because motivation won't always be there. You'll have moments when everything feels heavy, but your hunger will whisper, keep going. Your hunger will remind you that there's more inside you than the world has seen. You know, I've been in rooms filled with success, people with wealth, power, status. But you can always tell who's still hungry and who's coasting. The hungry ones, their energy is different. Their eyes still light up when they talk about their vision. They don't chase applause, they chase growth. They don't wait for opportunities, they create them. That's what separates the legends from the forgotten. And I know some of you feel like, well, I've been pushing for years and I'm still not where I want to be. Listen to me, delay is not denial. Just because it's taking longer doesn't mean it's not meant for you. Sometimes, the bigger the blessing, the longer the preparation. Your journey is not behind schedule. You are not late. You are being sharpened, refined, tested because your purpose is too big to be rushed. Here's a truth most people won't tell you: hunger comes with pain. It comes with sacrifice. It comes with isolation. There will be days when it feels like nobody understands your drive. That's okay. You're not meant to be understood by everyone. You're meant to inspire. You're meant to challenge the norm. You're meant to break patterns. That's why this hunger inside, you won't go away because it's tied to your destiny. And if you're doubting yourself, if you're wondering whether you've got what it takes, let me remind you, you've already come through storms most people couldn't handle. You've already survived things that could have broken you. That's not luck. That's strength. That's proof you've got a spirit built for greatness. You've got a fire that didn't burn out even when everything tried to smother it. And now it's time to turn that flame into a wildfire. This ain't just a motivational speech. This is a reminder you still got work to do. You still got chapters to write. You still got lives to impact. And your hunger is your compass. Your hunger is your power. Your hunger is your legacy. So don't run from it, feed it, protect it, and let it lead you all the way to the life you know you were born to live. Let's talk about something people don't like to admit. Hunger can get lonely. When you really decide to rise, when you choose growth over comfort, people will start falling away from you. You won't even have to push them. Your mindset will naturally separate you. And that separation hurts at first because it feels like loss. But in reality, it's elevation. It's pruning. You can't fly while carrying everything from your past. Some things, some people, some habits, they're anchors. And you can't stay hungry for success while dragging dead weight behind you. I've seen it firsthand. People with all the talent in the world lose momentum because they kept toxic energy around them. That's not motivation, that's sabotage in disguise. See, hunger demands discipline. Hunger requires protection. You've got to guard your mind like a treasure. Because the moment you let doubt in, it multiplies. The moment you let negativity in, it plants roots. That's the psychology facts we often overlook. What you allow into your environment becomes the soundtrack of your life. So let me ask you, what's the soundtrack you've been listening to lately? Are you surrounded by inspiration, or your circle playing fear on repeat? Are your conversations about purpose, mindset, and personal growth, or are they filled with gossip, limitation, and low ambition? Because trust me, success is contagious, but so is mediocrity. You want to stay hungry? Surround yourself with hungry people. People who remind you what's possible. People who challenge you when you start settling. People who clap when you win but push you when you slack. That's real motivation, not just a motivational video you watch once a week, but the daily reminders from those walking beside you on the path to greatness. Sometimes I reflect on those early years, before the lights, before the fame. What kept me going wasn't the vision of awards, it was the vision of impact. I wanted to create something that mattered, something that outlived me. And that's the shift most people never make. They chase money but never chase meaning. They chase comfort but never chase contribution. But when you live with purpose, hunger becomes natural. Because your life stops being about survival and starts being about significance. You want to know one of the most powerful forms of hunger? It's the hunger to become the version of yourself that only you can see. That future version, stronger, wiser, calmer, more grounded, is already inside you. You just have to keep peeling back the layers. Every setback, every challenge, every hard season, it's revealing another piece of that person you're meant to become. But here's the catch, you won't reach that version by accident. You've got to fight for it. You've got to choose it daily. That's why goal settings matter. That's why mindset matters. Because without them, you'll drift. You'll fall into old habits. You'll start listening to the world more in your own inner voice. And that's how people lose their hunger. They forget what they're becoming. Let me give you something real. Even now, after decades in this game, I still wake up hungry. Not because I haven't achieved success, but because success is a moving target. It's not about what you have, it's about who you are becoming. That's the best motivational video you'll ever play in your mind. Not the highlight reel of your past, but the future you're still building. And if you ever feel tired, that's okay. You're human, but tired doesn't mean done. Tired doesn't mean give up. It means rest and refocus. Hunger doesn't mean burnout. It means clarity. It means knowing what to say yes to and what to walk away from. A lot of people confuse hustle with purpose, but you don't need to chase everything. You need to chase alignment. Alignment is when your time, energy, and heart are all pointed in the same direction. That's how you protect your hunger without burning out. You learn to say no to distractions. You learn to let go of things that no longer serve your vision. And you stop explaining your hunger to people who don't understand it. Because truth is, most people only understand you after you win. They see the result, but they never understood the fire that created it. You don't owe them an explanation. You owe yourself commitment. You owe your future self consistency. That's the price of success. And not talent, not luck. Consistency, discipline, focus, hunger. And the beauty of this journey is that every step you take, even the messy, uncertain ones, gets you closer to the life you know you were born to live. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving forward. Keep growing, keep believing, keep staying hungry. And I'll tell you this, when you reach the next level, don't forget the journey. Don't forget the grind. Don't forget the hunger that got you there. Because success without humility turns into arrogance. But success with hunger turns into legacy. You don't just want to win, you want to leave something behind. A blueprint, a path, a message, a life that says, I didn't settle. I stayed hungry. I became everything I was meant to be. You ever wonder why some people have all the talent, all the resources, all the connections, and still never make it? Meanwhile, others who started with nothing, who had every excuse to quit, rise to the top. You think it's luck? You think it's just about intelligence? No, it's about hunger. It's about who refuses to settle. It's about who refuses to let obstacles turn into excuses. See, when you're truly hungry, you don't wait for the perfect conditions. The people who fail aren't the ones who lack potential. They're the ones who let their potential sit on the shelf, waiting for the right time. But there is no perfect time, no perfect moment, and no perfect conditions. You create momentum by starting. And if you wait too long, hesitation kills hunger. Look around you. There are two types of people in this world, those who make things happen and those who watch things happen. Which one are you? Are you the person who takes responsibility for your future? Or are you the person who blames their circumstances? Because the truth is, life owes you nothing. But it will give you exactly what you demand from it. And demand isn't just about words. It's about action. It's about how you show up every single day. Your results are a reflection of your standards, not your goals, your standards. Anybody can write down a dream. Anybody can talk about success, but your daily habits, your level of consistency, that's what determines your future. And let's be real, most people lower their standards to fit their comfort zone. They say they want success, but when it gets hard, when it gets uncomfortable, they start negotiating with their dreams. They start making excuses. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should settle for less. No, the second you start negotiating with your hunger, you've already lost. And I get it. It's scary. Chasing success means stepping into the unknown. It means risking failure. It means hearing no more times than you can count. But let me tell you something, failure is not the enemy. Fear is. The fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, the fraudulent feeling that whispers, what if you're not good enough? But listen to me, every person you admire, every person who's ever made it, has faced those same fears. The difference is they didn't let fear starve their hunger. You want to overcome fear? Take action. That's it. Stop overthinking. Stop waiting for confidence. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. It comes from stepping out, failing, learning, and getting back up. That's how you build the mindset of a champion. That's how you develop the psychology facts that separate winners from spectators. But most people never take that first real step. You know why? because they surround themselves with negative influences that keep them trapped. You've got to audit your circle. You've got to pay attention to the energy around you. Are you surrounded by people who inspire you or people who drain you? Because hunger dies in the wrong environment. I've seen it. I've seen people with all the ambition in the world lose it because they stayed in rooms that didn't challenge them. They let small-minded people shrink their vision. They let fear-based advice keep them playing safe. And before they knew it, their hunger was gone. They stopped dreaming big. They stopped pushing. And they settled for a life they never truly wanted. Don't let that be you. Protect your hunger like your life depends on it, because it does. That's what separates legends from the forgotten. That's what separates the people who achieve greatness from the ones who just talk about it. And listen, I don't care where you're starting from. I don't care if you failed 100 times. I don't care if nobody believes in you right now. The only thing that matters is, do you still believe in yourself? Because if you do, you've already won half the battle. The rest is just execution. You've got to treat your goals like a contract with yourself, a non-negotiable, something you show up for every single day, whether you feel like it or not, whether people support you or not, whether you see immediate results or not. That's the mindset that builds champions. That's the discipline that turns hunger into success. And let's talk about something most people ignore: sacrifice. Because staying hungry means giving up what doesn't serve you. It means saying no to distractions. It means being willing to walk alone for a while if it means walking toward your destiny. You can't hold on to comfort and expect to grow. You can't stay in the same place and expect new results. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? Because success is not free. You don't get greatness at a discount. You've got to pay full price, and that price is effort, focus, and resilience. You're either investing in your future or you're delaying it. There is no in between. And listen, you're going to have moments of doubt. You're going to have days where you question everything. That's normal, but quitting can't be an option. Slowing down can't be an option. Hunger means pushing forward even when you don't feel like it, even when it hurts, even when nobody's clapping for you yet. Because let me tell you something, the people who win in life aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refused to give up. They're the ones who got back up one more time. They're the ones who stayed hungry even when the world told them to stop. So tell me, are you ready to step into that version of yourself? Are you ready to stop playing small? Are you ready to commit to your hunger no matter what? Because at the end of the day, success isn't about luck. It's about decision. It's about who you choose to become. And the choice is yours. You ever notice how people love to talk about success like it's some big mystery? Like it's a secret code only a few people get access to. But the truth is, success isn't complicated. The formula is right in front of you: hunger, discipline, and consistency. That's it. But you know why most people never reach it? Because they let distractions kill their hunger. Think about it. How many times have you started something with passion, with energy, only to get pulled off track by meaningless things? Social media, other people's opinions, procrastination, self-doubt. Distractions aren't just wasting your time, they're stealing your future. And here's where most people fail. They think hunger is just about working hard. No, hunger is also about working smart, about knowing what to focus on, about cutting off the noise and making sure every move you make is getting you closer to your goal. That's why goal setting isn't just some motivational speech. It's survival. It's what keeps you locked in. It's what stops you from drifting. Because if you don't set your own path, the world will set one for you. And 9 times out of 10, that path leads to mediocrity. Let's be real, most people are just reacting to life. They wake up, check their phone, scroll for an hour, go to a job they hate, come home, watch TV, go to bed, and repeat. No plan, no direction, just existing. But hunger is about creating your life, designing it, taking control. And I'll tell you this, if you don't stay hungry for your own dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. And that's not a knock on working a job. That's a fact. If you're not working toward your vision every single day, you're just a pawn in someone else's. And let's talk about mindset, because the way you think determines everything. You can have all the talent in the world, but if your mindset is weak, you'll never make it. That's why personal growth isn't optional. It's mandatory. Look, psychology facts will tell you the human brain is wired to seek comfort. It's wired to avoid risk. That's why most people live in the same cycle their whole lives. But guess what? Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Evolution doesn't happen in safety. If you want to unlock your potential, you've got to retrain your mind. You've got to stop looking at challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities. You've got to stop letting failures break you and start letting them build you. Because every single setback is a lesson. Every single rejection is fuel. If you use it right, failure won't weaken your hunger, it will make it unstoppable. Now, let's be real. There's going to be days when you feel lost. Days when the dream feels too far away. That's when most people give up. That's when most people let doubt win. But listen to me, those are the moments that define you. Because anybody can stay motivated when things are easy. Anybody can be excited when everything is going right. But hunger is proven in the dark moments. When you don't see results, when nobody's clapping for you, when quitting seems like the easier option. That's when you've got to dig deeper. That's when you've got to remind yourself why you started, when you sacrificed, why you refused to be like everybody else. And let me tell you something powerful. Success isn't about intensity. It's about consistency. See, most people think it's about those big, dramatic moments, the all-nighters, the motivational bursts. No, success is built in the small, daily choices, the habits, the things you do when nobody's watching. Look at the greatest entrepreneurs, the greatest athletes, the greatest minds in history. What do they all have in common? They mastered the basics. They showed up every single day, even when they didn't feel like it, even when they were tired, even when the world doubted them. Because hunger isn't about hype. Hunger is about habit. It's about discipline. And here's the real secret: the longer you stay hungry, the stronger you become. Because every challenge you overcome builds a version of you that can't be stopped. Every time you push through, you're proving to yourself that you're built for this, that nothing can break you, that no matter what life throws at you, you're going to keep moving forward. And at the end of the day, that's what separates the winners from everybody else. Not luck, not talent, hunger, the willingness to go all in every single day, no matter what. So let me ask you again, how hungry are you? Because that answer will determine your future. Let me ask you something. What's stopping you? What's the excuse you keep telling yourself? Is the fear of failure? The idea that you're not good enough, better enough? That somebody else already did it better. That you don't have the resources, the time, the right connections. Listen to me. Every single person who ever succeeded started with obstacles. Every single one. Nobody was handed greatness. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't talent, isn't intelligence. It's hunger. The ones who succeed refuse to accept their excuses as reality. They refuse to let their fears decide their future. Because here's the truth: your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. You see, most people never lose to external forces. They don't lose because of lack of opportunity or lack of money. They lose because they sabotage themselves. They let fear dictate their decisions. They let negative influences creep into their mindset. They feed themselves doubt instead of belief. But let me tell you something powerful. You control your mind. You control your perspective. And when you learn to master that, nothing can stop you. Because success isn't about circumstances. It's about choices. The choice to keep going when things get tough. The choice to believe in yourself when nobody else does. The choice to sacrifice what's comfortable to chase what's possible. And I need you to hear this. There is no such thing as overnight success. The people you see winning, the ones you admire, they didn't wake up successful. They built it brick by brick, step by step. They put in the work when nobody was watching. They stayed hungry when things got tough. They kept going when every voice around them said, maybe this isn't for you. Because hunger isn't just about wanting something. It's about proving every single day that you're willing to fight for it. And let me tell you, if you're not careful, the world will try to kill that hunger. People will tell you to be realistic, to play it safe. They'll project their own fears onto you, their own failures, their own regrets. They'll make you think your dreams are too big, that your goals are too impossible. And if you listen to them, you'll start doubting yourself. You'll start playing small. You'll start settling. But listen to me, you were not born to be average. You were not put on this earth to play it safe. Playing it safe is for people who are okay with mediocrity. And if you've made it this far in this video, I already know that's not you. So let me ask you again, how bad do you want it? Because the truth is, you're always making a choice. Every single day, you're either choosing discipline or disappointment, growth or stagnation, action or excuses. And I know it's easy to get caught up in the idea of success. The cars, a lifestyle, the recognition. But that's not what hunger is about. Hunger isn't about chasing things. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. And that's why hunger has to be deeper than just wanting success. Because if you're only in this for the rewards, the first time it gets hard, you're going to quit. You're going to say, it's not worth it. But if your hunger is about growth, if it's about proving to yourself that you are built for greatness, then nothing will stop you. Not setbacks, not failures, not rejection. Because when hunger is real, nothing can take it from you. And let me tell you something, the most successful people in the world, they never stop being hungry. They don't reach one goal and get comfortable. They don't hit success and slow down. No, they keep pushing. They keep growing because they know that the moment you stop being hungry, you start dying. That's why you've got to protect your hunger. Divert it. You've got to feed it with action, with discipline, with commitment, every single day. And I promise you, if you do that, if you refuse to settle, if you refuse to give up, you will win. Listen to me, you've come too far to stop now. Everything we've talked about, everything you felt while watching this, it all leads to one, Ruth. Success belongs to the hungry, the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who keep pushing when nothing makes sense, the ones who show up every single day, even when they don't see results. Because let me tell you something, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you success. Nobody is going to force you to get better. It's on you. It's always been on you. And that's what separates those who make it from those who don't. The ones who win don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They don't wait for motivation to magically show up. They don't wait for somebody to believe in them. No, they believe in themselves. And right now in this moment, you have to make a decision. Are you going to keep making excuses? Keep letting fear control your life? Keep waiting for one day? Or are you going to decide right here, right now, that you are done settling? because that's all it takes. One decision to stop living below your potential. One decision to stop listening to the negative voices. One decision to start moving forward, no matter what. Because once you decide, once you truly commit, everything changes. The cost of giving up versus the cost of going all in. You know what's easy? Quitting, settling, walking away when things get hard. That's why so many people do it. They start with passion, with excitement, but the moment it gets difficult, they give up. They tell themselves, maybe this isn't for me. And that's why most people never live the life they truly want. But let me ask you something. What's the cost of giving up? If you quit now, where will you be in 5 years? In 10? Will you be proud of the life you built, or will you be filled with regret, wishing you had just pushed a little harder? Because I'll tell you right now, regret is the most painful thing in the world. Knowing you had a chance, knowing you could have been great, knowing you could have built something incredible, but you let fear stop you. That's a pain you carry forever. But you know what doesn't leave you with regret? Going all in, giving everything you have, pushing past the fear, past the doubt, past the discomfort. Because even if you fail, even if you fall, at least you'll know you gave it everything. And that's something nobody can take away from you. How to stay hungry for life now. Maybe you're thinking, okay, I'm ready. I want this, but how do I stay hungry every single day? Simple. You've got to feed your hunger. You feed it by constantly reminding yourself why you started, by surrounding yourself with people who push you, not people who hold you back, by eliminating distractions, cutting out the negativity, and locking in on what truly matters. And most importantly, you take action every single day, because hunger isn't about talking. It isn't about thinking. It isn't about planning forever. It's about doing. You want to build a business? Start. You want to get in shape? Train. You want to master a skill? Practice. You want to change your life? Move. Because at the end of the day, that's the difference between the people who dream and the people who achieve. Action. And I promise you, once you start, once you commit, once you fully embrace the hunger inside of you, you will unlock a version of yourself that you never knew existed. A version that doesn't quit. That doesn't make excuses. That doesn't stop when things get tough. A version that is unstoppable. Your next step starts now, so now, the only question left is, what are you going to do? Because right now, you have two choices. You can leave this video feeling inspired, feeling motivated, and then go right back to your old habits. Right back to procrastination. Right back to waiting for someday. Or you can take this energy, take this fire inside of you, and do something with it. Because success doesn't come from watching motivational videos. It doesn't come from reading books, from planning, from wishing. It comes from action. So I'm challenging you right now. Make the decision. Decide that you are done with excuses, that you are done waiting, that you are going to go all in on your future. And if you're ready, if you're truly ready, then let's go. Because this is your moment. This is where everything changes. Now go. Stay hungry. Stay unstoppable. We are Wisdom Recorder, your knowledge source. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, your future is in your hands.